Good afternoon guys and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Mid Handicap series. So as always, Dave is back. Welcome back, Dave.
How you doing?
Very good, very good. Yourself?
I'm alright, you know, not bad at all.
Played much this week?
Had a couple of games Saturday, Sunday, played alright.
Couple of games, not too bad. So obviously he's played a little bit this weekend. He's talked me through how his putting went. He said he was a little bit better, so progress, the dream's alive. And obviously his short game's getting there. He mentioned a few awkward lies, which we're going to have a look at next time we go on the golf course, see which kind of lies he's struggling with. But today what I wanted to do is to have a look at bunkers. So it's something that I see amateurs, you don't really go for many bunker lessons, or I don't really normally see many having bunker lessons.
Never had one.
Yeah, more times than not they're trying to avoid going in the bunkers and playing around. But Dave, you're pretty confident in bunkers, happy with them?
Yeah.
So, and this is something I want to go through, is obviously with Dave in part of the series, is even if Dave's happy with something and feels that it's a strong point, let's have a look and give him some confidence, tell him what he's doing well. If there's any changes that we can make it even better, we can, but if not, just reaffirm what he's doing is correct. And obviously if you can get more confidence, Dave's obviously then going to maybe play a little bit better, be more positive. Dave, you mentioned longer bunker shots.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty confident that I will definitely get out.
Yep.
And if it's fairly close to where the bunker is, then I'll put it reasonably close.
Yep.
As it gets further away on the green, I struggle to get it all the way to the flag.
20-30 yards?
It'll get on green.
Yeah, it'll get on the green, and that's one of the big things. And obviously, like Dave says, he gets on the green, and a lot of you might say, oh well, you know, I want to do better than that, but we've got a 15-yard shot here, the first one we're going to play, and you know, tour average is around about 6-7 feet, so anything inside 15 feet as a mid-handicapper is going to be a good shot. On the green, giving yourself a putt is a good shot, as silly as it sounds. When we come to longer bunker shots, tour average is going to be closer to 10 feet, which again, if I say to most people, like I'd even say to like Dave, is what he would expect, you'd probably say, like we all do, probably close.
Yeah, I'd hope for like between 3 or 4 feet, because then I'm more confident that I might drop the putt.
Yeah, so it's there. It's the one where we say, oh yeah, it should be within inside 5 feet, but it's a high tariff shot, very hard to execute, and something that, you know, we're not always going to do. Less chatter for now. Let's get Dave hitting some shots. I'm going to film him up as we did in the short game one. We're going to go to the 15-yard one, one Dave's confident with getting out, and hopefully we'll see how close he gets. So Dave, play away. Play ball. So Dave, do your normal setup, go through obviously your normal routine, and you play it how you would. So you got 56 sand wedge?
Yep.
Yep, and you use that for 99% of your bunker shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So play it as you normally would. Great shot. So nicely up. To me, I can just about see them to around about 6 feet. So a good shot. So let's get face on angle.
I'm as tall as James, so.
It's whenever you are ready. Again, another great shot. Right, let's have a look at those. So, two very good shots there. So we've got one at 10 feet, one at 5 feet. So, like Dave said, you're confident in those kind of shots.
Yeah,
so
happy days.
I'm going to go through his technique now. We're going to put that up on screen and talk about the good points. Obviously Dave does, why he's consistent from those shots, because it's not an easy shot. But then what we're going to do is obviously have a look at the ones Dave struggles with, which is the longer bunker shot. We're going to go around 20-30 yards. So here we have Dave's videos, so let's have a look at the two shots that he played there out of the bunker. So as we know, they were two very good shots, close, just outside tour average and just inside tour average. So as a whole, for a 14 handicapper, we'd be very happy. Let's start with face on. So face on here, we'll look at his setup first, and what we can see is he's got his weight left, the ball position's nice and far forwards, he has his weight on his left leg and into his left foot, and his upper body is always out, he's also even angled towards his target. So that's a good thing. That's encouraging him now that he's going to get a downward blow into the ball. It's going to help him get that up, and he can be really aggressive from that position. If we watch his backswing, as he goes back, he moves slightly off the ball, but we can see that a lot of weight goes into that left leg. So if we look at that left leg and left foot, it is loaded now, and from here Dave wants to just turn nice and hard and get through that shot. So straight down, his low body moves towards the target, which is what we see from some of the best bunker players in the world, and then he turns his chest through nice and hard into the sand, gets that ball popping up and through to his finish. So we see that he transfers his weight great. So he's there on his left side. He's kept it very positive through the ball. A lot of rotation, which allows him to attack these bunker shots, get them high, get them stopping, and be aggressive, which a lot of people in bunkers are scared. We want you to be aggressive out of those bunkers. We can get you controlling the ball flight, controlling your low point, and controlling how you hit those shots onto the green. And that's a good thing about Dave. With this setup, he can be very consistent with his low point. So as a result, he can get the same flight, the same spin, and the same result time and time again. If we move down the line, one big thing we look at down the line here is Dave's stance is parallel, or I would say square, to his target line. So it's not open. So the craze for the last 10-20 years is to be really open the club face. And what I see from most amateurs is they struggle to get a consistent low point. You start to shank some, you might start some way right, you might get some in the air, but they never make the distance. You're hitting it full speed and it's never making the distance. And that's because you can't generate enough speed and a consistent low point every single time. So Dave's shaft's not too shallow. He's in a good, strong, athletic posture there. Dave probably thought he'd never hear me say that. And from here, he keeps the club on plane on the way back. Lower body moves a little bit forwards. And then the first move is slightly over the top. But I don't mind that. That gives Dave a little bit more of a downward blow into the ball. Helps him get that up, but it also helps his chest turn nice and hard. So he's turning his chest nice and hard. And his lower body keeps his angles very good. So he's keeping his backside on that white line. He's not falling forward, so he's never going to shank the ball. And then from here he's turning nice and hard. Chest turns through. And we can see that ball pop up. And if anything, have a little bit of draw spin on there. So very good action from Dave there. So for this kind of shot, he was very consistent. So we're now going to obviously look at his longer bunker shots, and let's see what we go from there. So Dave, we're now going to look obviously the long bunker shot. So we've got the one that's probably 30 yards. So still sand wedge?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what would you do different here, or what would you try to do?
I'm trying to take less sand than I did for the nearer one. That's
okay.
Pretty much it though.
Less sand, so club face open.
No, just
closed, square?
Square.
Perfect, square. Okay, try and take a little bit. So let's set up for this one now. You play this as you normally would. And that's what sometimes happens?
That is what sometimes happens.
Okay, so we can see there, Dave caught that one thin. She just went into the bank. We're not saying the dreaded word, the S word. Okay, so we can see there Dave's had to make a longer swing. We know obviously the distance is further, so as a result Dave stayed with the same club. He's made a longer swing, which we know can make more things go wrong, and which we clearly saw. The dreaded S word, we'll not use it. But what I want to see from here is, for most amateurs, they don't want to change club, because that's known as a sand wedge. Whenever they go into the sand, I have to use my sand wedge. Well, here we can make it simple. We can change that club, drop down loft, and go to the club next down in his bag. So Dave, what's the next one down?
The approach wedge,
which is
50 degrees.
Approach wedge, which is his 50 degrees. So instead of trying to hit it harder, let's change club. We've still got enough angle to get that up and out, so we'll switch over. So we switched those wedges there now. So all I want Dave to do is think back to the first wedge he hit, and obviously that kind of swing length. Now with the less loft, we should get that distance. Good. So great shot there, in balance to his finish, was able to hold that, and we'll have a look now where that's finished. So here's Dave's approach wedge. So David, be happy with that? More than happy. It's a 30-yard shot. He's not had to really change anything, so all he's had to do is think about the same swing as he hit a 15-yard bunker shot, which then he can repeat that. So he knows if he gets a longer bunker shot, all he has to do is change loft. So it's something, like you say, you've never thought about changing loft.
Do you always use a wedge then? Or maybe even shallow bunker, would you go to a 9-iron, something like that?
So yeah, so if you could just get the club something just up and over, if it's a shallower bunker, like Dave said there, obviously it's a very deep bunker, so we need some loft to get out of there. So he could have used a pitching wedge, obviously if there wasn't much of a ridge. But that's something, that's an insight for you. Hopefully that's helped you out. Obviously it's starting to absolutely throw it down. So me and Dave will shortly be going in. So hopefully that's helped you out, give you a little bit of insight so that you can change clubs in the bunker. And when you go from a 15-yard shot to a 30-yard shot, your next wedge down, one with a little bit less loft, could be the one for you. We don't have to make a big swing. There's a lot more that could go wrong with that. Guys, hopefully you've enjoyed that. Comment below what else you want to see in the series. We are going to be doing a fitting next, so Dave's going to get a putter fitting. I know obviously he wants a putter, he's been going on about a putter, and I made him come out in the rain instead just for the laugh. So
what I'd like to see,
well, what Dave would like to see
is a hat. I should have got a hat.
Dave needs a hat. Let's see if we can have a whip round and get Dave a hat for the next time. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your trip to Scotland.
I will.
This might be on after Scotland, to be honest, but
I'll have enjoyed it.
He'll have enjoyed his trip to Scotland.
I won't remember any of it, but I will have enjoyed it.
Hopefully it's helped him, and we'll see you then.
Cheers.